morning and welcome to your 10-minute morning ritual. I'm Teresa Stegner, a self-care coach, helping women to create more calm, ease, and joy in their lives. So welcome, so glad you're here. I'm going to take a sip of my tea. So good. And we're going to start in mountain pose today. Feet about hip distance apart. And just feel the support of the mat beneath you as you take a couple of slow, deep breaths. And I invite you to put your hands on your heart. And on the inhale, you're going to expand the chest, arms out to the side, raise up on your heels, raise your gaze. Exhale, lower your heels, hands back to your heart. We're going to do that again, and we're going to add a pause of 1 at the top of the inhale. So inhale, expand the chest, raise your gaze, arms out to the side, pause of 1. Exhale, lower your heels down, hands back to your heart. Inhale, expand the chest, arms to the side, raise your heels, and a pause of 2. If that feels comfortable. 1, 2. Exhale, lower your heels, hands back to your heart. You can alternate the hand, whatever hand's on top. Let's do that again, and let's add a pause of 3 at the top of the inhale, if that feels okay and comfortable. Exhale, lower your heels, hands to your heart. We'll do that one more time and add a pause of 3 or 4, whatever's comfortable. Exhale, lower your heels, hands back to your heart. You can go ahead and let that go. And pause for a moment and notice. We're now going to do Warrior 1 pose. And we're going to do a similar arm movement and similar adding in the pause at the top of the inhale in this pose as well. So start with your hands on your heart. Your right leg is out, toe pointed towards the top of the mat. Left leg back. Your left foot at like a 45-degree angle, hips facing forward. On the inhale, expand the chest, arms out to the side, elbows back, bend that front knee, raise your gaze. Exhale, lower hands back to your heart, straighten that front leg. We're going to do that again, and we're going to add a pause of 1 at the top of the inhale. Exhale, bring your hands back to your heart, straighten that front leg. Let's do that again and add a pause of 2 at the top of the inhale. And then exhale, bring your hands back to your heart, straighten that front leg. Inhale, expand the chest, arms out to the side, raise the gaze, bend that front leg, and pause 2 to 3, whatever's comfortable. Exhale, bring your hands back to your heart, straighten that front leg. One more time, inhale, expand the chest, arms to the side, elbows back, raise the gaze, bend that front leg, and pause 3 to 4 at the top of the inhale. Again, only if that's comfortable for you. Exhale, pull that lower belly in, straighten the front leg, hands back to your heart. And again, you can let that go and pause before we do the left side. And again, notice anything you might feel in your shoulders, in the back of your left leg. Just notice any difference. This is where the neuroplasticity happens, in the pause, where you're tuning in, noticing what's happening within your body, and bringing that into your being, right? Letting your body know these movements are safe, and then starting to rewire your brain to calm and safety. All right, now we're going to do the left side. So your left leg is out, toe pointed to the top of the mat, right leg back, right foot at a 45-degree angle, hips are facing forward. Go ahead and put your hands on your heart. And on the inhale, you're going to expand the chest, arms out to the side, elbows back, bend that front knee, raise the gaze. Exhale, pull the lower belly in, straighten the front leg, hands to heart. Inhale, now we're going to add the pause, hands out to the side, raise your gaze, bend that front knee. Pause of 1 at the top of the inhale. It shouldn't feel forced, it should just feel like you're continuing to inhale. Exhale, pull the lower belly in, hands to heart, straighten that front leg. Let's do that again. Expand the chest, arms to the side, raise your gaze, front leg bent. Pause for 2. Exhale, pull the belly in, straighten that front leg, hands to your heart. We'll do that again, and we'll add a pause of 2 to 3 at the top of the inhale. And then one more time, 3 to 4. Again, whatever's comfortable. And you can go ahead and let that go. In this practice, I introduced the pause at the top of the inhale, which is called retention. We have 4 parts of the breath. So the inhale, the retention at the top of the inhale, the exhale, and then suspension at the bottom of the exhale. So we'll begin to play around a little bit more with these things in future practices. So now I invite you to meet me in tabletop. And if you can't do it if you can't get on your hands and knees in tabletop, you're welcome to do this in a chair. And the way that you would do this in a chair, is you would have your hands on the chair. And then you would do your movement from the chair. We're actually going to lift our legs and our arms. So this is how you would use the chair. Okay, so starting in tabletop, on the inhale, you're going to raise your left arm and your left leg. And then exhale, you're going to lower your arm and your leg. On the next inhale, raise your right arm and your left leg. And then exhale, pull the lower belly in, lower your right arm and your left leg. Inhale, raise your left arm and right leg. Exhale, lower your arm and leg down. Inhale, raise your right arm and your left leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, expand the chest, raise your left arm and your right leg. Exhale, lower both down. Let's do that 2 more times on each side at your own breath's pace. And one more time. And you can go ahead and do a child's pose from here. Inhale, traction back through the heels of your hands. Exhale, lower your hips to your heels. And let's stay in child's pose for 3 breaths. And then when you're ready, you can join me on your back on the mat. Knees bent, feet flat on the mat, arms at your side. Your knees together, if that's comfortable, legs over a bolster, legs outstretched. Go ahead and take a couple of slow, deep breaths. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And as you're breathing, just notice the support of the mat beneath you. Feel yourself sinking into the mat. And you're welcome to stay in this Shavasana pose. I recommend at least 2 to 3 minutes. Our intention for today is I honor my emotions without judgment. So the journal prompt is, what emotion is present for me today? And what is it asking for? I want to thank you for joining me today for this morning ritual, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.